Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande, and today we're going to do some more of the tournament prep game, and this is a pretty exciting episode. Some serious fights, very serious fights, including the one that's in the, intro that's part of these videos. So, let's move on to that, but first, we need a joke. So, here's today's first joke. Try meditation, because some answers can only be found on the internet. Ba-dum-bum. All right. So, as you can see, I am in grave distress with 210 units on top of my capital. Mounted herdmen, long deads, and hell herdings. And the fort is cracked. So, I am getting some clockworks. I am getting some bogbees. I'm getting some more apsaras. And I have scripted. Seriously scripted. We've got a small 4-slave communion and a serious number of masters. Maybe a little overkill on the masters. The bogbees are up over here so they can shoot. I'm in the door. We have stuck the tigers because, well, we know they're undisciplined. The bandars, and we're grabbing a few. You notice the clockworks. Well, the idea being is they will have very high resistance to the poison. And we're trying to keep, the sacreds back and the ogres back as long as possible. Now, I'll confess, this didn't work quite as well as I might have wished. But there's not much else to see except let's have a look. So we're jumping up the strategy, trying to get stronger, basically going for paralyze. And we'll get it, and hopefully it will kick in with this communion. And you can see simple stuff. We've got some of the yogis that are extra to the communion. Now, in hindsight, I probably would have gone with more yogis out of the communion. And let me be sure that I am casting Power of the Spheres. There's Light of the Northern Star. So that's the big one. Did I put enough? Yeah, and she's got Power of the Spheres and, lots of pearls. We've got a few. Got some Envenom Arrows to help out, and that is a gem spell. And we've thrown some gems on the Yaksha, which he will probably spend on elementals. Sadly, only the little ones. But it's better than nothing, and this is a little bit of a desperate, all hands on, try to stay alive. But I think that is all there is to look at. You could see, Muspelheim smacked the crap out of what little was left there. Some barbarians attacked. That is a big chunk of Muspel Giants. And we really don't see much. What scouts I have left, I'm just trying to keep. This one should have probably come back. Just trying to keep an eye on if there's any opportunity to break out. Okay, well, let's move on to 32. Because that was pretty simple. We are 32. Alright, the Muspels wiped out those Marcadas. Oh, I forgot to mention those. Let's go there for a sec. So I got all these Marcadas showed up, and that was an event last turn. There really wasn't anything I could do about it. There was nowhere to go. It was inevitable. It would have been lovely if they were stealthy, but they're not. If they'd have been at Tavi's, then I could have snuck them back home. Go back up top. Here. So I rushed out to check what was there. And that's pretty serious stuff. That is a lot of mounted herdmen sitting on top of the fort. And they're really not that good at siege. In comparison, I mean, look at long deads. They're dirt cheap. So, and the hell herdings again, for the cost, that's a lot of money for kind of not great siege. So, what are the reasons it's taken him a long time? And he popped in, and we got a couple of errors here. So, I've looked over this, and what happens, and you can see, is I got these bog beasts I summoned without putting them where they needed to be, and they poisoned a couple of things, which sort of sucks. Because I lost the Yogi, not too bad. I really didn't want to lose it. But most importantly, I lost this guru, wherever he is here. And you'll see why. So we can basically watch this. Really nothing much to see. The scout dies, but I lose a couple of important magi. So I learned a lesson here. Positioning the bog beast was not right. Definitely not right. Yeah, so that sort of sucked. The loss, most importantly, the guru, because that meant that now I've got much less options for nature spells. And I have to double up. So we're getting some more bog beasts. Let's see if I've cleaned this up. Yeah, see? Well, I hadn't cleaned it up there, but if he probes again, we're going to have a little... Oh, but I've rebuilt the walls a little. So my thought here is he didn't have enough siege power to crack the walls, so somebody is cracking them with remotes, the Earth spell. And that's really expensive when he could have just brought a big pile of cheap junk, reanimation, or there's lots of cheap junk he could be buying. This is something I've noticed in the tournament games is people are not giving consideration that sacreds are not efficient siege chaff, and you just need crappy militia. You know, something with high siege power per gold. And so ogres or militia or any old thing. You know, like a Tavi, you're fine. They're cheap. 7 gold for a siege of 1. That's just about as good as those 60 gold cavalry. There is not much else to see. We're getting some more ogres, some more bog beasts. I'm holding off on more Apsaras because I know that I will need the gems. And it's not cracked this turn, so I got to turn a pause, which will let me do better formation. So this is 32. Let's jump ahead. Let's go to 33. So, does he crack the fort? He does. Okay, I get a new crop profit. I get some ogres. I get some bog beasts. So I am not summoning more bog beasts, but I am summoning more Apsaras. Because now the bog beasts are up in the front. Apsaras and stuff are in the back. And anything I summon will show up in this central zone. So hopefully they won't be standing in the poison cloud. I've still got some tigers left. And of course, the clockworks don't last long, but they're immune to just about everything. And so they can just sit and plug the gate. So we are ready as ready can be. On the research front, going up for a little bit more enchantment. So Astral Shield will help the Pretender. And I think here we got regeneration in nature. And we are looking at some options for glamour. That's nothing too wonderful there. True Sight will help. And then more conjuration to get big elementals at least. And some other stuff that I can use the glamour gems for. So that is pretty much the summary of 33. Let's go to 34. And okay, here it is. A battle at the fortress. So we got ogres, Apsaras, and water kobold. We want to look at this battle. So, there's only 60. Look at that. Look at that. I think it's time for another joke. So, why do mindful people not take selfies? Because there is no self to selfie. I hope you enjoyed that. It's bad, but it's funny. All right, we will look at this. Let's watch the fight rather than look at the results. Okay, let's see the setup here. So we have some long dead. Okay, well, they won't break through. we have the PD. So Bandars with sticks and stones, which is good. We've got the bog beasts, which will rush forward. We got the tigers, which will rush forward, and the clockworks, which will rush forward. And hopefully, everybody else will kind of get stuck back behind. Now, these ogres and these Epsaras are not scripted, but the others are. In hindsight, I probably should have put quite a few of the sacreds on guard commander and kept them. But hindsight's 20/20, and you learn. So, big chunk of mounted herdmen in the front. More long deads. The long dead. The hell herdings on the flanks. And what's he got for commanders here? Van Jarls. Let's look at it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Van Jarls and 1 Helkarl and 1 Hangedrot. So, I outmage, but he outgolds. Okay. And I'm going to slow it down here so we can see the action in quite a bit of detail. Okay, so the sticks and stones have a reasonable chance of bashing the crap out of these long dead horsemen, and they're getting shot. So that's good. Now I'm going to turn down sound effects for me a little bit. What a huge issue for you. I think I've got them in a good position. I turned them off a little too far. Okay, hold on a sec. What's going on here? There we go. There we go. Fancy controls. Fancy controls. Okay, Light of the Northern Star is up. Twilight is up. So Twilight is a bit of a darkness. Now, how does this affect us? Attack skill. I don't see much happening there. What does Twilight do? Vision is slightly hampered. Oh, I see. So it helps the glamour skill. Ah, yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so... Well, I wish the bog beasts had better accuracy. And I put it... In hindsight, the bog beasts would have been far better in the middle. But still, we're getting poison stuck here. And they just can't get through the line of Bandars. But we are... Okay, well, so far, we're not getting too much poison. We got some poison on the Bandars. Yeah, so this guy... Let's see this guy. Mounted Herdman. So the poison's doing its job. The long dead horseman really couldn't do diddly. There we go. We got some poison on here. Yeah, there we go. That guy's seriously poisoned. So this is working. But it would have been good to have the bog beast cloud in the middle. I think we can speed up a little bit. Let's go to normal. Now, what do we got happening? What are they? We got stellar decrease, solar rays, mind burns, starfires, and how are the slaves doing? Are they dead? This one's a master. Let's have a look at commanders. We should be seeing their fatigue is really high. Here's one. Okay, Aryabata. So their fatigue is not all that terrible. Okay, some of these guys, Ethereal, they got through the wall. But they're being dealt with. Oh, they're being smacked up really good by the cold blast. Yes. Okay, so the ones that rushed through. Oh, and he did flight. Okay. So he got some of them flying, but not enough. So we've already wiped out. We've lost some Epsaras. Lost some Batavis. We lost a lot of Bandars. No Bog Beast dead. Lost one Clockwork. He lost pretty much all those hell herdings already. Oh, one of the mounts retreated. Boy, that did not work. Yeah, that did not work. Oh yeah, we put that one to sleep. Awesome. Yeah, and that one got paralyzed. Nifty, man. Yeah, the hell herdings get annihilated. Ah, here comes a couple of elementals, so that helps. Okay, in the middle here, we are losing most everything that isn't poison resistant. But that's just the way it's gonna be. Okay, so we lost. Dudes are running away. They are broken. The hell herdings broke. They're not all getting away. And then up here, okay, the Van Jarls. Looks like they stay out of the poison. Yeah, they stay out of the poison. But it is almost over. It is almost over. So, the Vidyahar retreated. But I don't lose. So hopefully they don't get killed. And I lost the Bandar commanders. Okay, let's have a look at how this ends up. Wow. I don't think he loses any of his magi. And that's it, he's running. This guy may be. He's fatigued out. Can we kill him before he gets away? Is he flying? He is flying. So, there he goes. All right. That was that. That was that. All right. So, I had a lot retreated. Let's look at the deal. So, the only thing I lost was the water kobold as far as magi. Lost a lot of units. Kept almost all the bog beasts. Ogres were pretty much wiped out. Clockworks survived. Savannah's pretty much wiped out. Tigers wiped out. So, kind of hurt, and a little bit of adjustment in the script would have made a fair difference. It would have made a fair difference. So should we do one more turn? I think so. So that's okay. So we're getting another water kobold. Did we even get to see that water kobold? Let's take a look at the water kobold here briefly, because I didn't even get a chance to have a look at it. Where is it here? Can we find it? Where's the water kobold? Oh, I know where to look for it. Let's do it this way. Okay, so these guys are water with glamour. Pretty cool, but only 5 hit points. So, tough to keep him alive. And I don't know what killed him, but I'm not too concerned about it. It could have been just a stray arrow. It could have been those herdings. It could have been most anything. So we're summoning another, and we're getting some more Apsaras, and that's about it, because we got to hang on to enough gems to be able to fight again when he cracks the fort again. But that's going to take a while. Now, I lost pretty much everything holding up the walls, because these dudes suck at holding up walls. Whoops, wrong one. Because they're mindless, and these are undisciplined, so they suck at holding up walls too. The only thing left. But we do have a sum, and he's down to only 60 units. So the total was, we wiped the long dead, we pretty much wiped the herdmen, and we pretty much wiped the hell herdings. This was a very expensive attack for him. So let's go to 35. We are really getting towards the end. So 35 will be the last one. Because, well, okay. I'm spoiling it, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, he breached it again. Now, what's inside? Okay, here I smartened up. I put them all on guard commander, and I stuck the bog beasts right in the front. We are getting no more bog beasts because we're low on gems. No summons, and the research trying to get to Conjuration 5. The chance of getting there is not terribly good, but who knows. And I have minimized the amount of gems put on dudes. So you'll see scripts are a little simpler. So 1, 2, 3, 4 slaves. I've still got a lot of masters. And we're doing various buffs, mostly buffs that don't take gems. So that's why the nature dudes just have 1 gem, just in case. Big buffs are astral. Get the light of the northern star, get the power of the spheres, get a personal mistform on the slaves. Okay, sorry about the little interruption there. Anyways, yeah, and so the water kobold is just doing a little bit of buff himself, and then I'm not too familiar with glamour spells, so I left him on, do what he wants. I think that's all there is to say about turn 35, and I'm going to stop here on a bit of a cliffhanger. But one more joke. One more joke. Did you hear about the guy that joined Mindfulness Anonymous? He said, "My name is Michael. I've been stuck in the present moment for 6 months straight." Okay, that's all my jokes for today. And that's all the brilliant wisdom I have to share. I am off for more stuff related to school today. Busy, busy, busy. I'm a very busy dude. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming.